So I basically shop for clients when it comes to interest rates, pricing, make sure you're getting the best deal. And that's how I move my business. But I am seeing a lot of investing right now in the real estate market. As far as, like we said earlier, there's not a lot of women in that market, in that pool. It's mostly men that are coming, and they're seasoned investors, and they're buying up multiple properties at a time, or doing blanket loans and things like that. So it's nice to see you and everybody that's involved just getting more and more people in the space and becoming aware of what's actually going on. Like pretty soon, most of these houses, they'll be purchased by investors and only available to rent. And we don't want to be behind the ball. We want to be ahead of the game. And the way we do that is education. So I think that's great. But yes, I
Yeah.
definitely do see the trend. It's really cool though on the bright side that a lot of men, women, people of color were getting involved. Like it's not just like we're talking about it. I see action. I see people asking questions. To me, that's like a buy sign. Somebody's interested, whether it be now or later. When you guys are asking questions, you guys are inquiring, and that's really exciting to see that there's more people that are interested in this industry.
Yeah, no, it is. It definitely is. And, I just don't want people to get cold feet, like keep walking, because challenges, you got to almost anticipate a challenge. You got to
Yeah.
anticipate a challenge either at the very beginning of the deal, the middle of the deal, when the deal is closed. Like, I think it's like totally unrealistic to think, oh, I'm going to get involved in real estate. It's going to be perfect. But I mean, what asset class are you going to get in? What business are you going to get in? There's no business that you can do and say, oh, from the time I got in that business, everything was perfect. No, you're always going to have to pivot. You're always going to have to maybe go another way. You probably think sometimes, Avery, I'm going to use this lender, but then you realize, oh, that's not a good lender. Let me use this lender. Or TJ, I'm sure you guys have realtors and you yourself, you've shown homes. And you say, oh, this is the perfect home, to only find out, oh, there was something we didn't know. So let's keep looking. You don't stop looking for a home just because you ran into a home or you ran into a multifamily that wasn't what you thought. You have to keep going. How much would you say pivoting? How many changes are you seeing happening on a regular basis, TJ?
Well, it's just one of them things to where, since the pandemic, inventory been sparse, since then, but been slowly growing more and more since being like, about 2 years out. We're seeing like property values increasing significantly. I mean, just even last year, Detroit, from last year to this year, it increased about 20%. So you just got to realize that a lot of eyes are on Detroit right now, especially with the big events that just happened. The draft brought 750,000 people downtown, and I live downtown. So it's just one of them things where, like, being down here, you'll be able to see, how many different eyes you have, different investors from not only, around the country, but around the world that had eyes on Detroit. So you got to realize that a lot more people are about to come here. You've been seeing that renting rates have been going up significantly, though, over the past year, or past couple of years, for real. $500 at a time, I'm hearing from different people because, renting rates have to, go up for the justification of these multi-unit buildings, apartment buildings being built, because once they're building them, they need the leases to be able to be there in order them to make their money back. So now, since the renting, values are at a certain point now in the city, that's why you're seeing a lot of these multi-million dollar complexes going up in these different areas in Corktown, downtown, Midtown, and now it's about to be, going over more and more and more, investing in certain areas of Detroit. So right now is the perfect time to get into the space, to get into the investing space, because property values are going to only increase more and more because people are coming here, people are relocating here. You got the train station, EV Center over there as well too, though. So right now, a lot more people are trying to think of maybe having a multi-family, living in one like unit, and then renting out the other space. Especially if you're like a first-time home buyer, that's not far-fetched because then you can buy, the property, rent out a space, then you don't have to see the mortgage note. or going another route in regards to an actual single family as well too. And you're seeing a lot, like I said before, allocation. Not affordable grants out here now that are stackable too. So I've been seeing and bringing clients to the table that are literally a close relative of mine. Literally was able to utilize a Bank of America program that was stackable, but went to the program and left with less than $200. So that's for closing costs and down payment. So it's just one of them things that right now being able to do that, seeing that, like being able to utilize that and buying the rate down, quite frankly, because interest rates are at a certain point at which, yeah, it's a little higher, but at the same time, though, that was historically low. And people got to remember too, during the pandemic, just because it was at 3% doesn't mean anybody could get a house at that time.